Hello everyone. One moment. That's better. Um, wasn't gonna do a playability video on this until I lived with it for a while, but after several hours of setting this up the way I like and um, being so impressed with it, I just wanted to share it with everyone. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought this, whereas I have, my cheaper guitars with the modified pickups and whatnot. I thought I would get this and, nah, it probably wouldn't be, at least the humbucker anyway, wouldn't be as good as the over-round pickups I've got in my cheap guitars, but it appears to be that it is, if not a little better. Guitar sounds fantastic. So, bit to be said for the jumping up into this would be the $600 range here. It was $594, $660 with tax and shipping. Yeah. And as for, not being a professional player, is this guitar for me? Is it for you? I definitely believe it is for me, only because I've dabbled with this for years and years, and I've made up my mind that I'm going to be messing around with a guitar for the rest of my days. At that point, I think jumping up, a quality level is acceptable. Very glad that I did, and also inspiring to help you get better as it's more enjoyable to play. Yeah. Very, very glad. Previously, the highest level would be, Epiphones in the $400 range. 4 to 8, probably, actually, because I do have a candy apple red Epiphone that I don't know what it's worth. It might be getting close to 8 maybe now. So it might even be worth more than this. But yeah, very excited about the Mexican Strat. Yeah. There was a little bit of fret sprout, which was quite surprising to me at this price point. But after knocking it off, very impressed with the neck otherwise. It just has a quality feel and look to it that your Affinity and Sonic don't have, which I'm very fond of both of those, but there is a marked, noticeable quality jump here. And it wasn't actually the ends of the frets, it was actually the part of the fret that goes down into the neck. Was, as the neck shrank over time evidently, the little tabs on the bottom of the frets were poking through there. It was really easy just to knock it right off, and it feels really good now. Those of you who may not know, my fret filing system is a nail file. Works really well. Doesn't seem to really damage the neck in any way. I was a little concerned about doing it on this one because it's a it's a poly neck, and I'm probably taking the poly off at the base of the frets, but I don't know. I think it's worth it for the smoothness. My body oil will soak into the wood and make up for that. Oh. Which you would be wearing it off. In time, playing this over a long period of time, that poly would be worn off of there anyway. So it's basically a mild form of relicking, I would say. And it's completely not noticeable. I can't tell it by looking at it. And and the more you do it, the more actually you're rolling the top of the neck, So you're actually, as you're taking the fret sprout off, you're actually creating a small amount of roll, which is a very high-end neck thing. let's see, what else? I left out a few things. I wanted to go over all the things about this guitar that made me buy it, because everything about it was what I liked. There's nothing on this that isn't how I wanted it. So the relic tuners, also lockable relic tuners, large Fender headstock, which I prefer, blonde neck face. I'm not sure why it is, but I have an easier time playing a blonde neck. I'm more likely to get lost or distracted with a rosewood or dark neck. Why that is, I don't know. And I've actually kind of grown, and due to that association, I've actually grown to prefer the look of the blonde neck as well. I don't know if that's just a thing in my head because I know I can play it better. But yeah, I am a maple / blonde neck aficionado. I wanted a fat Strat, which means it has a humbucker in it, because most of what I do is high gain, power chord type music. I like to come up with riffs and things like that, just bass, root of the song riff sounds. But with this purchase, I wanted to, every time I play guitar, I do practice the pentatonic and a blues scale, just, and I'm not proficient at it at all, but I do practice it every time I do pick up the guitar, because, we're hoping for that light bulb day where all of a sudden I'm whittly, whittly, whittly. And sometimes I have a really good time that sounds really well going through the scales, but it's nothing like, actually playing the whole neck and that kind of thing. So I have a long ways to go with the, shredding type. But I really enjoy what it is that I do for the most part anyway. And with the purchase of this guitar, I wanted to make sure I got something that, if I got proficient at that, it would be, a guitar for that type of music. So we've got the high output humbucker, which is splittable. So this is in essence an SSS and an HSS, because the rear humbucker is splittable via the button on top of the volume. So yeah, just going through the list. Also, I missed on my previous video, this is a 2-point tremolo, not the 6-screw or whatever, the vintage style. And the nice thing about it is you can lift it up off of the body a little bit, and you've essentially got a double action tremolo. And the way I set this up is a 1/16 off the body and perfectly leveling it with the springs on the back. So I'll bring it up to the height I want, tune it, and then use the springs to set it perfectly level. And I know that works because I have an Affinity that I set up that way, and it works very well, very tune stable, very nice double action tremolo. Obviously, no Fender tremolo is really a dive bomber, but let's see. So we got the headstock, the neck face, the tremolo stock. Also, this is a large block tremolo, whereas actually the American Ultra, which is a guitar very similar to this, only with a small headstock, the American version, the 2 to 3 times more expensive American version, they went to a small block, which the large block in the tremolo, it's with the strings come through underneath on the bottom. There's a big thick one, or there's a small one. And they went to a large one, and it's been a symbol of quality across the board, as the large block is, a better sustain, better quality block, but there's a lot of controversy over that. So What else? Color. Very in love with the color. This does appear to be a quite real heavy, thick poly with the mocha to the natural antique wood in the center, and the nice kind of medium brown around the outside. Looks a little darker on the video, but yeah, so yeah, I think that's it. Everything about the way this guitar was made is my preference. So, pretty amazing. And it only comes in a Mexican Strat. There is not an American Stratocaster made like this, with the exception of the Ultra American Strat. And the only difference in it is the small headstock and the non vintage style tuner. It has locking modern tuners and a small headstock. Other than that, it's the exact same style with the same accoutrements. Also, this has the 2 noiseless single coils, and obviously the humbucker is noiseless until you split it. So I haven't noticed any noise coming out of when I split the humbucker. So I don't know if they went so far as to make half of this noiseless. I'm not noticing any noise. I have a hard time. You really have to listen to the sound of what comes out of the guitar to figure out whether or not you're split or not on that, because they're both pretty noiseless. So yeah, that is everything I think about this guitar that is notable. Yeah. There again, this is the 2021 Fender Deluxe HSS Mexican Strat. All right, let's see what it sounds like on the video. I'll try to do a little picking. I usually get nervous and mess it up. You sit there and do that perfectly for a long period of time, and then get in front of a camera and I can't do it. Well, I think sitting down helps. I'm not used to doing this standing up. Almost made it through. Oh. spare you that. I was doing that all perfect earlier by myself, but evidently it takes a bit to get over the camera shyness. Yeah, just wanted to share this with you. Sounds pretty good. We'll do She Split Right Now in the middle. Nice. That's Split Humbucker, middle. Middle only. Also nice. Neck middle. And neck. So yeah, working on that, working on that. And this is the this is the unit to for that type of playing. I'm gonna let you go. Just wanted to share that with you. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll talk at you later. Later.